Welcome to the Meet the Author Session Live. I will be coming to you every week on Thursdays, 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. I will do a rotation depending on my schedule and things I have to do. But first of all, welcome. Hello to all of my readers. I miss you very much. I miss that I can't be face to face with you and hear your comments, see your smiling faces. So greetings to all of you over the United States. Greetings to all my readers in the Philippines. Thank you, Manila, Philippines, for choosing my book last year to be a part of your National Book Expo. Thank you very much. Thank you to my readers in Canada. I look forward to meeting you whenever the pandemic is over. To London. Thank you to my readers in London. I'm so excited. And thank you to all of my readers in Africa. So excited. So I know a lot of you hadn't had an opportunity to meet me personally. So I wanted to start coming on live to give you an opportunity to give comments, questions, or concerns for those of you that have read my books or read some of my books or heard about my books or heard about my life story through ministry or any other avenue. So my name is Antonette Smith. I'm 44 years old. I'm married. I'm a mother of 5, and I'm a grandmother to of 12. I reside in Brookhaven, Mississippi. I am a multi-business owner. I am an evangelistic teacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I'm a founder of an empowerment ministry. I'm a published author. I've published 15 books so far. So this week, well, tonight, I will be going through 14 of them step by step, giving you a brief summary of each book. And each week we will discuss one book. We're going to stay on one book 2 weeks. So I read the chapters and you tell me which one you want to hear about. And we'll go from there. I'll keep you updated on the books that are being released. I will keep you updated on the books that I have coming out that I'm still writing or that's in editing. So as we go, I have a lot of different questions that people have been asking me. So I will talk about them throughout this session. And be easy with me because it's my first time going live. So each book comes with a bookmark, and each book comes with a card. If you can see it, the Real Internet Comforts come with a card. And my goal is everybody that buys my book series, I give them one free book. So I stamp your card. So it's 4 books for the first series, and the second series is 5 books. My books are sold at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Google, Apple iTunes, Walmart.com, Books A Million, Target.com, and Kobo. They come in paperback or digital version. If you purchase my books, they on sale right now. They on sale. A lot of them are on sale. The paperbacks are on sale through Amazon. They're on sale through Walmart.com, I know for sure. So if you purchase my books, if you will send me a message on Messenger, please send it to this page Messenger. I know I have several different Facebooks. I don't know how to get into the rest of them. So if you send me a message to this page, I will get your message, I will get your comment, and I will mail you a bookmark, and I will mail you a card. And when you get the series, I will give you your free book. I'll mail it to you signed. And when everything is over, I will sign your books that you've already purchased when I get to come out. Okay? So we're going to, I have a cheat sheet to keep me on course. So the most asked question people want to know, have I self-published my books? No. I have a publishing company named Page Publishing out of Staten Island, New York, that published my books. I reached out to them in 2015 when I started writing. They told me to send my first manuscript, so I did. They accepted my books. I let them know that it was going to be a series. So I own all of my rights to my books, all of them. Thank God. So another question people want to know is why I wrote my books. I wrote my books as my process to freedom, my process to deliverance. And a lot of people didn't know a lot of things that I've gone through in my lifetime. A lot of my family didn't know. A lot of my friends didn't know. And I just kept asking the Lord, I want to be free. I want to be free for real in every area of my life. Not just financially, but I want to be free physically, mentally, and emotionally. And there was one area that I would never deal with. You know, it's always that one thing that we don't want to deal with. And I kept suppressing it. And I work on this and work on that. But it came time that I had to deal with it. So I dealt with it through writing. So this is why I wrote my story. I didn't write my story for people to feel bad for me because I'm happy. I didn't want them to be upset with the people that had did me wrong in my life. Excuse me. I didn't want them to be upset about the life that I lived, because God already charted my course from my end, from my beginning. So I'm happy. So when you read my books, a lot of people describe that it is an emotional roller coaster. You're up and down. You're happy, then you're sad. And I wrote it this way because I wanted you. Hello, I see some people coming on. I'm new to this, so if I don't call you out, forgive me. So I wrote this book series, and I wanted to walk you through. It's from age 5 to 43. This first book series is from age 5 to 39, which is the title, The Real Antonette Come Forth book series. And it's 4 separate books, which is 9 volumes. I wrote this series, and I walk you through how I felt at those times. Let me repeat that again, because a lot of people read my book now. They get upset because they think I have an issue with them. They think I have a problem with them. I love everybody. I don't have an issue or problem with anybody. I'm free. I wanted you to feel what I felt at these times. I wanted you to feel what I walked through, because I'm walking you through my life. If you walk with me through my life, you'll see how I felt, and then you'll also walk through the transformation of my mind. You'll see my mind begin to change as God began to deal with me. You'll see how my tone changed, and I'm naturally loud. Let me let you know. I'm naturally loud. A lot of people think I get upset and that I'm abrupt, but I'm very candid and I'm very honest. I don't know how to hold back. I don't know how to be pretense. If I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't. And you'll know either one. But I'm naturally loud because my mother family is naturally loud. And then my middle name is Lolita. So it means to sing praises aloud. So I have a built-in microphone. Okay? So I wrote this book because I want you to walk with me through my life. Everything that has happened. And I'm going to go through each book and give you a brief summary to let you know what each book is about. And then we'll go into further details as we work on that book. But I wanted you to see how I felt and how Jesus brought me out of it. There is deliverance from any and everything that you ever gone through, will go through. It's nothing new under the sun. All I have done was put a lot of words to people's stories they don't get to tell. So I'm speaking for a lot of people. I'm not just only speaking for myself. I'm not only trying to just free myself. In the beginning, I didn't want to do it because I was like, I don't want people to know what I've gone through. God is just between me and you. I wasn't trying to shame anybody or anything like that. The most asked question is, in my books, I suffered a lot of abuse. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. And a lot of people want to know, were my abusers charged or held accountable legally? No, they was not. But God got them. And the Lord let me know that he got them. So just because they think they got away and I never spoke about it, God got them. And I got a chance to see a lot of them die horrible deaths. I got a chance to see a lot of them suffer. And first I used to gloat about it, like, oh yeah, they getting, because they did this to me. And then the Lord had to correct me. Have mercy. You have to still forgive those. You forgive those and I forgive you. So then I had to change my paradigm of how I dealt with people and how I viewed people, because I was really messed up. Okay. So I forgave him. God gonna get him. He got him. We happy. I'm free. We happy. First book, The Real Antonette Come Forth. In this book is 3 volumes. Volumes 1, 2, and 3. It's 3 books in one, this book. The first book is titled The Darkness Begins. The Darkness Begins. Let me explain this though. Each book, you see me laying in the tomb, and then volume 4, I'm halfway out the tomb. I'm out the tomb and the tomb is behind me. 5 and 6, I'm walking out the graveyard. 7, 8, and 9, you see the real me. I designed my covers like this because I was bound by many things. And as the Lord began to free me, I was unraveling. So each book that I wrote, I was unraveling. I was unraveling. I was coming out of bondage. I was coming out of my grave clothes. Anybody that's biblical, they know about Lazarus and how he told Lazarus to come forth, but Lazarus was still bound by the grave clothes. And he said, loose him and let him go. So that's how I was. He had freed me, but I was still bound by grave clothes. So these books was my loose me and let me go. Volume 1. Let me find it. The Darkness Begins. You see part of me in the tomb. And it is titled Molestation. Molestation from age 4 to 11. Each book, I do it in the sequences of ages so you can follow the story. So it's very important that you start from the beginning. If you don't, you're going to miss a lot of stuff. So volume 1 is molestation age 4 to 11. So any of you that have suffered molestation from anybody, God can free you. He can heal you from the stench of it. He can heal your mind. He can heal your body. And you don't have to walk around sad, depressed, year after year after year like I did. It don't have to be the skeleton in your closet. Let him free you. Let him get down into the deep parts that you don't talk about, that you don't tell anybody about. You don't have to carry the shame of your abusers anymore. You don't have to carry the hurt and the guilt because you feel like you done something wrong. I was a child and my innocence was taken from me. So a lot of children have gone through it and they don't talk about it, can't talk about it, can't tell anyone. And I can relate to that. It wasn't that I couldn't tell my parents about it. It just wouldn't have been a good thing. Okay, it wouldn't have been a good thing. So I chose to deal with things my way, which caused me more harm than good, but I'm free now. Okay, number 2, volume number 2. This is volume 2, and see I'm coming up the tomb. You can see more of it. And volume 2 is titled The Death of a Girl, Childhood to Motherhood, and it's from age 12 to 16. Okay, now, volume 2, The Death of a Girl, I went from being molested for several years to entering into a relationship with a man at age 12, got pregnant at 12, had a baby, and by 16, I had 3 babies. So that's why it's titled From Childhood to Motherhood. So I went from playing in the yard to rocking a real baby. That's what that book is about. So all you teen mothers out there, teen fathers out there, you can make it. I did. It wasn't easy, but you can make it. Love on your babies to the best of your ability. Don't feel bad because you got pregnant early, whatever may happen to you. It's a lot of teen moms. It's a lot of teen fathers. I wouldn't recommend it, but If it happens to you, you can get through it. You still can survive. You still can make a great life for yourself. You still can make a good life for your children. It just take a lot more work. It makes it more harder for you. It makes it more difficult for you because the things that you're supposed to enjoy as a child, as a teen, you don't get to do a lot of things. You don't get to do a lot of things. But by the grace of God, you will be able to do some things. And you will be happy about it. Okay? So don't feel bad. And then Jesus' mother, Mary, she was what, 15, 16 when she had Jesus, but people don't talk about that. But they want to down us for being teen parents. And our Savior, mother, was young. So that gave me hope after the fact. I didn't know that before the fact. I knew it after the fact. Okay? So, the next one is volume number 3. And you can see the tune fully. And it is titled, The Years of a Teen. Mother, Student, Battered Woman. And it is from age 16 and 17. Okay, so I was a mother already. Y'all know I told you. From 13 to 15. From 16, I had 3 children. And then I was a student. First, I was, tutored at home, Then I wanted to go to high school because I wanted to go on my prom. That's what I'm telling you. You can have some things. You just can't have everything. So I was able to go on my prom and because that's something I wanted to do. I was able to go to school for 1 year to be around children my age, which I didn't think I was a child, but I wanted to go. And then I also was in a battered relationship, an abusive relationship, a domestic violent relationship. A lot of us find ourselves in that situation, whether you're young, old, man or woman, it does not matter. Domestic violence is not just women being battered. It's a lot of men being battered too. I stayed in that relationship many, many years. So this book talks about me being a mother, me being a student, and me being a battered lady. Okay? So we'll talk about it. We'll read about it. That completes volume 1, 2, and 3. Volume 4. This is by far almost the thickest book of mine. This one book. Volume 4. This was a long book. This was really a deliverance book. Volume 4 is titled The Attic. The Attic. Okay? Ages 18 through 26. An addiction of drugs and sex. Those 2 topics in itself that we have a problem with. Drugs and sex. They pretty much, if you're on drugs, you're going to bound be caught up in a lot of different sex acts. So this book is about being addicted in all type of forms. I was a drug addict for about 8 to 10 years. I'm talking about a real one. Cocaine, heroin, marijuana. Never did do a lot of pills, but I tried them. I never shot up, never did the needle. Drank, smoked, prostitution. I think that's pretty much covers it all. I was out there. Went to a couple of rehabs. Didn't listen to what they said. So this is what this book is about. The Attic. And we'll talk about it. We'll probably be on this book probably the longest since it's so thick. And I want to give you the opportunity to ask different questions. How I came out of my addiction. It was Jesus. It was him. Because believe me, I tried to free myself and I couldn't. Many a times. I tried to deliver myself. I could not. I didn't have the power. I believe in the 12 steps. The people do the 12 steps. Admit I'm an addict. I did all of that. But then I started reading the Bible and he says, you are what you say. So I kept saying, if I want not to be an addict, why am I keep on saying I'm an addict? No, I got to say I'm different. I'm a woman of God. So I had to change my speech. But I could only do that when I gave my life over to the Lord and started reading his word. And I had to replace all the other words that was in my mind that had been spoken into me, that had been spoken over me. Because people put you down when you on drugs. People put you down when you um, not really with society or do things a certain way, you know. So I had to replace a lot of bad words with good words, and I was able to get free. And special thanks to one of my pastors in Mississippi. I don't know if you're watching, Reverend Wyatt Lewis of Old St. John Baptist Church in Weston. When the Lord sent me to him, I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. I was bound by drugs. I was in an abusive marriage. I was running from the law, and he didn't know anything. He didn't know anything. He didn't know anything. I didn't tell him anything either, but he had the grace to cover me in prayer. I was under him for 7 years. We still very close now. He had the grace to cover me, to bring me out of my drug addiction. And that's how I got freed. You need somebody that's higher than you to pull you up. And he was higher than me, especially in the spirit realm. And he taught me humility. And he taught me to take my time and to love myself. Even not knowing, even though I didn't verbally say a lot of things to him, but being a real pastor and being a true leader, they supposed to pick you up in the spirit on what's going on in your life. So if you under a pastor or a leader or something like that, and they can't pick up in their spirit when something wrong, something's wrong with their relationship. You shouldn't have to go to them all the time and say, oh, pastor, I'm going through this and going through that. But we're not going to talk about that. We ain't going to get on pastors. I'm just giving you, paying due to where due is, honor is due. I love him. He saved me. He gave me back to my children. He gave their mother back to them. So that's how I came out of that drug addiction. We'll talk about it more. Volume 5 and 6. Now I went to the grave, and my graphic designer photographer, we went to the grave and shot this. And my daughter was with me, and she wrapped me up in all of this stuff because I wanted to act like the bandage was falling off of me. And my mama was there. It was, I'm telling you, we had a great time. But I was actually in a real cemetery when this was shot. And I wanted to walk and let the bandages be falling off of me. So this is 2 books in one. This is volume 5 and volume 6. Okay. Volume 5 is titled Years of Isolation. Years of Isolation. And it talks about my move to Mississippi, and I leave all that I know. And it's from age 27 to 30. This is during the time when I left Illinois from being the addict, from being on the run. And now I'm in Mississippi. So that's where this book began. Number 6. Number 6. This is 2 books in one. So this is number 5 and 6. So this is number 6. And it is titled The Breaking of Me. And this is age 30 to 33. And it is about divorce and children leaving home. 2 very hard things. So, the breaking of me, the breaking of me, the breaking of me. I had to be broken. Now, I was already broken in some areas, but in a lot of other areas, I wasn't broken. So what I mean by being broken, I had to be broken so God can put me back together to be the woman he called me to be. But we'll talk about that in the next book. So, going through a divorce. So, all you divorcees, hold your head up. He or she was not your world. They was at the time. But if they left you, or you left them, however it went, my husband left me. You know, I was all sad, depressed, and everything else, even though my marriage wasn't what it should be. But still, devastation is devastation. When you give your life to somebody, you assume that it's going to last. You assume that it's going to work. You assume that both of you going to do everything you say you going to do for the relationship, for the marriage, for the family. Everybody got free will. God gave everybody free will. So you free to live however you want to live. You free to leave a relationship when you want to leave a relationship. You made a decision to get in the relationship. You can make a decision to get out of it. That's the way I view life. It's about choices. just be able to live with the decision that you make. So long as you're able to live with the decision you make, all is well. And children leaving home, that about killed me. Yep, that about killed me. When my children started leaving home, oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. I did, because they was all I had. They was all I ever had. You know, having them young, not really able to have outside friends and stuff like that. Your children become your world. You encamp everything about them. You depend everything upon them. And I leaned on my children really, really hard. I'm here because of my children. I'm telling you, if it weren't for my children, I wouldn't be here. If I had not taught them to pray and just love on them, I wouldn't be here. So I'm here as a result of a lot of their prayers. I'm here as a result of their love. I'm here because they gave me reason to fight. They gave me hope. They gave me something to look forward to. When everything always went dark, everything always went bad, my babies would always, Mama, we love you. It's going to be okay. And they helped me to the best of their abilities, you know. So love on your children. Love on your children. Cherish them. It's hard when they leave home and they, you know, disconnect from you, and you just want them to stay close to you. And, you know, it's hard. It was real hard. So I talk about that, the breaking of me. So that was a lot of breaking. I had to detach, you know, and let them have a life. So, all right. Volume 7, 8, and 9. This is 3 books in 1. See me on there? I thought I was fine on that picture. Yeah. So this is 3 books in 1, volume 7, 8, and 9. Let me see. So 7 is titled The Molding of Me. No. The Making and Molding of Me. The Making and the Molding. Remember, I was broken. So I had to be broken. Now I got to be put back together. So it's titled The Making and the Molding of Me. That was a hard process. That was a hard process. Because I had lived a certain way for a long time. And when you're coming out of a lot of abuses, a lot of addictions, you have to learn everything new if you want to. And so my prayer had been for like 20 years. I want to walk in the newness of life. I want to walk in the newness of life. I want to walk in the newness of life. Not really knowing what that means, but I'm reading the scriptures and I wanted something new. Because everything I had old, it wasn't working. So, but I didn't know I had to be broke to get it. I didn't know I had to be making. When the Lord said he making and molding you, that means he really taking you, melting you down like a potter's clay. And he squeezing and he chipping and he putting water on it, and then he smoothing you out and roughing you out in a lot of places until he scope you and make you. He make us with his hands. He really do. He make us with his hands. We are the only things that he made with his hand. Everything else he spoke into existence. But the human beings, God took his time and he made us. He shaped us. He formed us. And when we get into this world, we pick up different things that we ain't supposed to pick up, being under Adam. I blame a lot of it on Adam. That's right. Because of the fall. I had to go through a lot of stuff I ain't supposed to went through. But nevertheless, when Jesus saved me, he redeemed me, he put me back together. So when we get into this earth realm, we pick up a lot of different stuff, attitudes, addictions, desires, all this stuff. And sometimes it don't fit into the kingdom. It don't fit into his plan for your life. So he have to break that out for you. He have to break that from you. And he have to shape you and mold. You have to mold your heart. He have to shape your mind. He have to make you into who he calls you to be from the beginning. So it's like we backtrack a lot of times. That's the way I see it. We backtrack a lot of times. But glory be to God, that was a hard process. That was a hard process. And I'm still being processed. I think it's a process in motion all the time. Because we forever being changed into his glory. And we want to be like Jesus. And so we go through a lot. Value number 8. Volume 8. Now you see these pictures. This is titled Birthing Pains. And it's from age 37 and 38. The Death of a Child and the Death of a Mate. This was a hard book. This is a hard book. It was a hard book because I lost a son 7 years ago. I'm just not really getting to the place last year. Yeah, last year. Year before last. That I can really just talk about it freely. Really just go there. So that was a hard book to write. It was a hard process. And we'll talk about that later on because I actually wrote a different book about it. And then The Death of a Mate. I was engaged 3 different times. But this one, he ended up dying a year after I lost my son. I was very devastated. I was very devastated when he left. So we'll talk about that book too. Birthing Pains. So when you give birth, anybody that's ever been pregnant and you give birth, you know when them contractions start coming and you know it's getting close for the baby to get here. Yeah, it hurt, don't it? So birthing pains. I went through a lot of birthing pains in that book because God was birthing a new me. After he had made and molded me, then a new me had to come forth. So that's when I began to do a lot of things that God had already desired me to do, had already put in my heart to do. And I just never would do it. I just was like, putting it off. But he got away. You know, David said it was good that I was afflicted. Now I keep your ways. So the Lord had to afflict me for me to keep his ways. So that's what Birthing Pains is about. Volume 9. Volume 9 is The Real Antonette. The woman God created me to be in this age 39. I began to fully understand who I was and who he wanted me to be. I fully understood the calling that he had on my life, the purpose he had for my life, and he gave me a plan on how to achieve that, how to do that. And so even though it looked like I was still in my same body, I was a different person. People that see you or know you from your past, they still try to handle you, in a way that they've known you before. I may look the same, but I ain't the same. And the real me, he even changed my physical appearance. I never used to wear makeup. Never used to wear wigs. All this stuff. Listen, I was a plain Jane. Okay? Dresses down to my ankles, long shirts. Listen, I just wanted to be free in here. I didn't care nothing about appearance. People used to talk about me. Oh, you dress old, especially my mama. You old looking. You too young to dress like that. You need to buy you some clothes. I didn't care about any of that stuff. I didn't. I didn't. But the Lord, when he changed me, he changed me. So that's the real me. That'll complete the Real Antonette Come Forth series.